Hello everyone, it's your boy Cinema Man, and today we're going to be talking about A Quiet Place Day 1. And with A Quiet Place Day 1, we follow a prequel to the alien invasion that happened in the first two Quiet Place films. Now with A Quiet Place Day 1, I'm going to be starting with my negatives before my positives, and I know that's a little weird, but that's really because I want to end this video off with a good note, because I really enjoyed A Quiet Place Day 1. But I did have my small negatives and nitpicks about it, so let's get into those. My first big gripe I have about this movie is a lot of us were expecting to see some new forms of aliens and some new kind of things introduced about them. And they really don't do that. It's still the exact same aliens from those first two movies. They really only do like one thing in this movie, and it's not even explored on very much. It's kind of left in the dark and showed one time, and this never goes anywhere. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. One thing about this movie that I know a lot of people aren't going to like is character motivation. And it's for one specific reason that happens in this movie that I have a feeling a lot of people are going to hate on, but when you actually go and talk about it and think about what's going on in this character's life and then add two and two together, it makes sense why their journey and arc ended the way it did. I already know there's going to be a lot of people that go to see this movie this weekend and be so confused on why a character made a certain decision at the end of the movie, but I'm going to dive more into that when I talk about spoilers tomorrow night. But other than that, A Quiet Place Day 1, man. What a freaking movie. Now, the first big thing I want to talk about is this movie wasted no time sending us straight into the alien invasion. Now, from that start of it, you think it's going to be a slow start and it's going to be forever until we finally get the aliens showing up. But really, it's not till about 5 or 7 minutes into the movie when that alien invasion starts to kick in and things get crazy. As soon as those aliens invade, the movie becomes action-packed, suspenseful from beginning to end. There are so many horrifying and creepy moments in this movie, and all of those horrifying and creepy moments all come from the suspense you're going to get while you're watching this movie. Now, jump scares don't usually get me. I don't know if it's because I saw this movie in 4DX or what, but the jump scares really did get me here. I don't know if I was jumping or if it was just the seat moving. Also, something else that I highly enjoyed in this movie is that they give the aliens so much more screen time, and because you get to see them in a lot of more face-to-face encounters, they do introduce some really cool brand new mannerisms that these aliens have in trying to hunt their prey. Also, if James A. Janisse is going to have a hard time if he does a kill count when this movie comes to digital, because there are so many bodies flying around in this movie. Also, big props to Joseph Quinn. I thought he had an amazing character in here and played a great pivotal role. I also love the emotional story they put us through with our two main characters. Specifically with Sam, she was really the standout to me out of the two. Sam gave some really strong emotional moments in there, and when her arc completed towards the end, and you see what I'm talking about, it's going to be really controversial, but I actually did like how it ended. In fact, not only was it so sad, but I love the way the direction of this world took it. Also, I love what this movie was able to do and capture with its NYC setting. And I'm not even kidding you here. There's an entire sequence where the whole city is just trying to be quiet, and because the slightest little bits of sound that all of them are making, it causes a lot of catastrophe. Also, you just get to see some of the poor choices the military were making at the beginning in here, not knowing what these beings were, what they were doing exactly, and some of the cooler parts. Towards the end of the movie, we get to see some brand new types of movement from the aliens that just came off really, really creepy. Also, the cat in here makes this movie so much more suspenseful, especially if you don't want anything bad to happen to it. Also, there were some pretty crazy character deaths from people that just did not deserve to die whatsoever. Also, I like how this movie does retread on some of the old rules from A Quiet Place. Like, if a louder sound covers a smaller sound, the small sounds can talk, causing humans to be able to talk around loud bodies of water, such as rivers and waterfalls, and rain. which it's pretty cool to see how they discover it, because notice this when you watch the movie, the first few minutes that you see this mechanic, they don't even really take advantage of it and use it. It's not till the characters come together and they're just like, hey, we can talk underneath the rain and the lightning and all the louder sounds, because then the monsters can't hear us. Not even gonna lie, this movie had me so on my toes the entire time that even when characters were walking and the slightest bits of sound were being made, I was sitting there like, oh, like cringing at it. Also, for a movie about an alien invasion and in a horror movie in general, this is very uncommon in a horror movie. The cinematography is just spot on beautiful in here, and I want to see more movies shot like this. Not only that, I want to praise the visual effects team that did these aliens, because a lot of times for horror movie fans, a lot of horror fans want to see more practical effects. And this movie had a very light amount of practical effects and was very CGI heavy. But in a way it worked, because these were the best computer-generated effects that I've seen in a long time. Not only are these aliens creepy, but you almost believe that they're real. Because how the smallest little details are painted on these alien face models is just amazing. Not even gonna lie, these things were scary when everyone was around, and they're pretty much always around, because another thing is a lot of people are comparing these guys to the Abbott. I'm being so serious when I've seen a lot of reviews that say the Abbott family did it so much better than these two, but I strongly disagree. If you think about it, the Abbott family was built for an event like The Quiet Place. They lived in a small town. They had a deaf daughter, so they already knew sign language to communicate, so it was pretty easy for them to stay quiet. For these guys, they live in New York, and the average there is 90 decibels, which is the sound of a constant scream. So in a place that's not very quiet, it's easy for people to get swooped up and die here. So say what you want about the Abbott family and these guys, but the Abbott family had it so much easier, all I'm saying. Anyways, guys, I really loved what I got to see at Quiet Place Day 1. In fact, this might just be my new favorite Quiet Place movie. And there's a lot of spoiler stuff that I want to get off my chest, so if you want to see me talk spoilers about this movie, come back tomorrow when I'm talking full spoilers about A Quiet Place Day 1. Trust me, you don't want this movie ruined for you. So if I was you, I'd go ahead and get a ticket to Quiet Place Day 1, go check it out, come back tomorrow when I make my spoiler review. Because there's so much stuff in here that I just want to gush about. Overall, Quiet Place Day 1 is my favorite horror movie of this year, and I'm still debating on if it's my favorite movie of this year. I say that, but I just remembered Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes came out this year. So second favorite movie of this year. Is that better? Anyway, that's my review for Quiet Place Day 1. I'm going to give this movie a solid 9.5 out of 10. So this was amazing. I will see you all later.